Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we have another Evolve episode here, episode 16. I can't believe, I just can't believe we've gotten all the way up to episode 16. I mean, 16 weeks of the show. I think overall, the experience of this show has been pretty fun. I never really watched Level Up, so I really can't compare it to that, but I do like this, like, almost like separate entity because like Level Up obviously you knew was like below NXT, but Evolve feels like it is obviously below it, but like has some adjacent parts where like people could easily slide into NXT and it doesn't feel as much as like taking a step up as just having like a side quest type thing. I don't know if that means anything, but it's kind of how I'm feeling about it. I kind of like it though. So we started off the show. It was Callie Armstrong and Natalia versus Nikita Lyons and Zeta Steel. It's kind of interesting that Natalia is down here. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this is a demotion and all that." Nah, Natalia doesn't do that type of thing. Natalia's been here long enough that I don't think she takes any assignment that she doesn't want to take. So I guarantee this was something that she really wanted to do to a certain extent because it's just one puts you on TV and two it's just Natalia. Natalia's like a record breaking wrestler, so this is just another thing that she can put in her cap, being like I've wrestled here, there, she's wrestled in every organization basically that WWE's owned, not to mention Bloodsport and NWA this year. So I think she's pretty much only missing maybe like a AAA event, which you never know. I could definitely see something like that happening. So I don't really think that's a bad thing. This match itself was not too bad. I mean, they had obviously the heels with Nikita Lyons and Zeta Steel, being a well-oiled machine, and the other two being not on the same page. But I do believe that it still kind of worked out, and I think they definitely maybe are going to have Natalia versus Callie Armstrong. It's an interesting pick there because, like, that match would absolutely do wonders for Callie Armstrong, but for Natalia, it doesn't quite do that unless it's like a fatal or like a triple threat or a fatal four way where she could be in the match but not be part of the ending of the match. I think that's kind of the way to protect her. But I mean, if she wants to do it, that's fine. I mean, even if they pulled the trigger and gave Natalia the title, I don't think anybody would necessarily be complaining about that because that is still a crazy person to have represent a brand, and it would put some extra eyes on the brand. But then, like I said, this match was still pretty good. I feel like there was a lot of good back and forth. I thought it was fairly entertaining. I think the wrestling probably would be like a C plus B, but I think the entertainment value solidified it being in that B value. So definitely worth watching. Next up, you had Marcus Mathers versus Jordan Erases. We hadn't seen Marcus Mathers yet. This is his first match. I thought he did pretty good. I think I've seen him in Memphis wrestling, like on their show. I'm pretty sure he looked super familiar. I thought he did pretty good. He got some really good high flying stuff. The match was about 5 minutes, so like I think he did a pretty solid, go to show himself off in that 5 minutes. I'm just not a big fan of Jordan Race's character or whatever. I don't know. I'm just not. But I would put this in a solid B. I think it was serviceable for the 5 minutes that it was. Then we had them both get cleared out by Kiana Carver, who gets a promo, basically meaning that he's going to knock out all these ID program people. I like him as the big bad guy. I think Kiana Carver would work wonders if it wasn't that Obafemi is in NXT. Like, this man could probably easily go into NXT right now and be a dominant force, but he's too similar to Obafemi and, like, being, like, just an absolute wrecking monster. They got to figure something to make him a little bit different, or they're gonna have to delay his time to go up there so he can do that, but without having it. I think his like gimmick and everything is just a little bit limited because other people are doing it just as well in other areas. But I still like this segment. I put it in slightly an A above that. I don't think it was anything bad. Next up, we had, was it Troy Wilder or Tate Wilder? I can't remember. His last name is Wilder. We've seen him once in a tag match. It was kind of random. They gave him a little bit of a promo. I thought he did fine with the promo. Didn't really like excite me to go see him wrestle ever. So I'll put it in C. I feel like he at least was still competent on the mic. And then we finished off the show in a gauntlet match, which was the Vanity Project versus Sean Legacy. He had to go against Brad Baylor, Ricky Smotes, and Bryce Donovan. I thought this match was absolutely choreographed great. Like, they did some really good stuff in it. He obviously eliminated Ricky Smokes first in 3 minutes. Then he had Brad Baylor, which I think ended up being another 5. And then he finally got eliminated by Bryce Donovan, like a couple seconds later. I think it was a good way of doing it, showing that he had the resilience to go through that, but not the superhuman strength to beat 3 people in a row. Because that's always kind of crazy. He'll beat 3 people in a row, and you kind of just put all 3 of those people in a bad spot, and then he goes in there and like loses the title match, you know? So it's like, what? But I think this was good. It kind of added the character. I think Sean Legacy's just extremely over. I really, out of all the people in on Evolve, he's the one dude I'm pretty sure needs to just be called up already. I mean, obviously he's already had 2 separate matches on NXT, and I think the crowd was very warm to him, and I think he did a very good job in both of those matches. So I would not be surprised if we see him get called up. I think he should. I mean, honestly, I think they could easily call him up right now, and I think he would be a very good addition to the roster. I thought this match was still overall pretty good. I think Sean Legacy was probably, he wrestled about an A, and I think the other 3, well, obviously Bryce Donovan was only there a couple seconds, but I think they were around a B, so I think I'd be fine with settling everything up on a B right there. I felt like the match was still really entertaining, and honestly, I would probably, the way that the matches are set up here in the category, is probably where I'd put them in ranking too. Um, Being like least to best, maybe. I'm not sure. That tag match is still pretty decent. It was just entertaining, I guess is the best way of saying it. I'm not gonna say it's like the best form of wrestling. But I thought the entertainment value of it was good. But I put the show in a B. I mean, it was a solid B. Like, this is really good. This is the pacing also that I really liked. We had 3 solid matches, all over 5 minutes, a couple promos, couple things like here, and it all worked. I think it's kind of the best thing to do right there is to have it like this, because it's like we got to see everybody and we got to set up different things. We also had another promo with Kylie Ray. She'll be facing Wendy Chu next week. I honestly don't mind seeing this, but this should definitely be the end. It's a last man standing match, so it's a good way to finish off a rivalry. And then we also get, was it Kendall Gray versus Zara Zacher? So that one also should be pretty good. There's only 2 matches announced for next week. There'll probably be a men's match, probably like a multi-man match, so I can get some people out there. But yeah, I just like the way that they did this. We got a lot of people. We got 10 workers just in matches that we saw. We saw at least about another 3 in promos and stuff. I think that's a good way. They got a lot of people on the show, and it didn't seem boring. It was really entertaining, and I enjoyed my hour that I watched this show. So this is exactly the blueprint of what you should put the show as. If they're looking around and looking at all the shows they've done, obviously they've had shows that are better wrestling, but if they want, this is the best show that they've done. Like, from top to bottom, this was perfect. So yeah. But if you guys like this type of videos, we do Evolve every single week. We review it. We review SmackDown, Raw, and we have a bunch of other stuff. We're going to have a TEW series, and we're also doing the WNBA season for the Dallas Wings following Paige Becker. So we got a bunch of content coming up here. There'll literally either be 1 to 2 videos guaranteed almost every single day for the rest of the I would say the year at this point, at least till the WNBA season is, because those just come up and I have to, if I have other stuff planned that I want to talk about, I kind of have to just do both. So yeah, so if you guys enjoy this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.